Howdy. Today we have a Hyundai, specifically a Hyundai Tucson. This is the limited model, so it's the top of the line model with the available all-wheel drive system. So it's a smaller SUV, two-row, but it's quite nice. I guess it competes in a highly densely populated market with vehicles such as the RAV4 and the CR-V. It's Hyundai's entry. It's quite a nice car. Hyundai changes their cars often, and this model has been around for, I believe, 2 years. The way it looks as it does, so it should be pretty familiar. But the grille and the headlight setup, these are daytime running lights that are on right now, is pretty cool. It's very sharply designed with a lot of angles in there that are not necessarily seen in this video because of the weird autumn afternoon light. But it is a very nice car, very nice to drive. It comes with 3 different engines. This is the ICE engine, 2.4 liter, 187 horsepower, I believe. There's a hybrid version and a plug-in hybrid version. It is a little bit short on power, I'm going to be honest with you. That is my only drawback about it. It's connected to an 8-speed transmission, none of this CTV stuff that others are using. So that's a nice thing, but it is a bit short on power. It drives great. The suspension is really nicely tuned for bad roads here in the Northeast. It has the smaller wheels, 235, 55, 19. It is available with a bigger set of wheels, but I think these just give it a nice balance of comfort and a thicker sidewall, which I like, since thick sidewalls, because otherwise you'll be really prone to flat tires. Good trunk inside. There's a spare tire under there. Seat is broken up into a third and 2/3 like they always do. It folds down really nicely with just this latch, and it's not a flat folding seat, but it does fold really nicely. 12-volt socket back here for anything you might want to charge. Power hatch. Interestingly enough, I didn't think this thing had a rear wiper, but it does. It's just tucked away in there. It's almost invisible. Good job on that, Hyundai. It looks great. The headlights are nicely. There's a little bit too much chrome in there for me. There's too many textures between the black, the chrome, the different black. Same thing with wheels, and then you have this black trim around it. I wish it was a little bit more constant, but otherwise it's a great looking vehicle. Now, the biggest change, I guess, for 2025 is not so much on the outside, as we talked that it's already been updated, but rather it's on the inside. This dash is new for this year, and it consists of 2 big screens up top. Basically your gauge cluster and your radio and your Apple CarPlay display. Below it is climate controls, but not only, you have a nice shortcut for all the screen features that you might like. So media, map, track up and down. It's set up really nicely, and it's got a tune knob, which I like because I like to fidget and switch stations all the time. So I'm one of the few people who actually uses the tune knob. HVAC is self-explanatory, except I couldn't find the auto button, which is actually in here. You just have to press it. Very easy to use, very intuitive. Charging station. This is very interesting. You have this USB-C outlet over here, but you have this button over here. And what it can do is it can switch to charge mode, or it can switch to charge and display USB mode, which is interesting. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Regular charger here, and a cool 12-volt socket opening. Very neatly packaged. You have another set of buttons over here for your drive modes, engine on-off, hill descent control, as if anybody's going to use that, cameras around, and parking beep sensors. Drive modes, there is snow mode, normal, sport, selectable my drive. I just leave it in normal. or sport. Very little difference between sport and normal. Basically just keeps the revs a little bit higher, and maybe the throttle is a little bit more instantaneous. This console over here is what I actually really nice. This is a phone charger. It's a wireless connection to your Apple CarPlay. And it's got a little bar over here that tells you how much charge you have. It's divided into 3, and it tells you if you're charging, and if so, how much of it you have. Great location for it, right in the arm. You can see it with your eyes. You can pick up your phone easily if you need to. Not that you should while driving, but you know what I mean. And then you have this big space over here, and you still have a very deep console over there. So the layout of the interior, I really give it an A. This shelf over here is handy. You had a passenger. The first thing they did was they threw their phone over here. It's nicely illuminated at night. Non-stick surfaces everywhere. So if you put your stuff over here, it doesn't actually go flying every time you brake or take a corner. That's nice. This is again a limited model, so you have ventilated and heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Now, what you're missing over here, though, which is nowhere to be seen, is the shifter. The shifter is actually over here. And at first I was like, what in the hell? This is silly. But I drove the car a little bit and I got fine with it. So you press the brake, go forward, you basically turn it up. For reverse, you turn it down and you park. You can switch into neutral in between those things. And it's actually really intuitive. The park button's over here. The emergency brake is over here, along with a power hatch. It's kind of a mechanical pull down almost. Obviously, it's not. That's an interesting way to mount a shifter. I have mixed feelings about it, but it works. I really didn't have much of a problem. It totally frees up your console, and you don't have this big, shifter here that you used to have back in the days. Mercedes has been trying the same thing for a long time. This is, I think, a big improvement over the Mercedes one. Programmable buttons over here gives you several choices of what you want this button to do when on the screen once you press it. So that's nice. It has the typical Hyundai camera when you put a blinker on. This door is open, so it was showing something else. So that's nice. This thing over here, I could not figure out what it is. And I went into the owner's manual, and this is a fingerprint reader like you would have, on your phone, on the old iPhone, or like you would have on some computers. Interesting. So what do you use it for? You use it to start a car. However, you can't get into the car without a key. And the owner's manual didn't really say so, but I believe that you can use this as a key and then use that with a fingerprint. But this little thing, it's attached to the key. The key is kind of cool in the shape of a Hyundai logo, but I couldn't figure out exactly how it works. I didn't want to, it's not my car, so I wasn't going to program my finger into it or anything like this. But I believe you carry this with you, this little guy, as opposed to this whole key, and then you use this fingerprint thing to start your engines. It's one of few silly features that you can do with it. I thought that was interesting. I'm not sure if it's needed. This is a sensor that monitors over here if you're falling asleep or not at the wheel, and then it reminds you to take a coffee break. Back seat, I folded this before, so it's folded back up. This is interesting. First time I see this. I think this is to put your seatbelt in like this, so that when you fold the seat, it stays out of the way, I think. But if that's what it is, then it's pretty clever. The rear seat, because this is the top model, is heated. No sun sheets though. I obviously just folded it up, that's why it's like this, but it can recline further back. Nice armrest with a cup holder. Plenty of space over here. The seat is set up for me. I'm decently tall, and I can absolutely sit here behind myself. So overall, very cool little car. Love the improved interior. Seats are comfortable. 24 miles on the highway. No, 24 in the city, 30 on the highway, I think. I'll correct that. And a little bit short on power. The hybrid and the plug-in hybrid have more power, although they obviously also have more weight associated with them. So I don't know if they're actually any faster, but it's enough. I mean, don't drag race. If you need a drag race or get something faster, like a Camry V6 or something, but this isn't it. But it's good. It's you know, you won't be dying driving it in terms of power. So yeah, great little car. I really like it. I really enjoy it, and I think Hyundai. Every time I drive a Hyundai, every year that they make subtle little changes to theirs, and that goes especially more so with the Genesis cars. They keep improving them little by little, and they're really getting somewhere. I really like this. Thanks. Bye.